What?
No, we good. We good. We good to go.
Oh, we live?
Yeah, we live.
He said, "This live."
So I gotta say, welcome to episode number. I don't even know because look, it's been a long time. It's been a break, but we got special guests in the house tonight. Kendall Jackson, aka one half of the one half of the group, Casey and JoJo.
I'm done. Ooh yeah.
Welcome. All right, so thanks for coming through, man. It's pretty. So this is my first time. Not first time. I met you 3 weeks ago.
About 3 weeks ago.
And this is my first time ever meeting you. We've been together for 3 weeks straight.
Who else?
And I think I want to marry you.
I'm done.
Nah, it's been real, man. I appreciate getting to know you. You're pretty funny, dude. And it's been nice.
Thank you.
Oh, my shoe fell off. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Hey, man, where you from, man?
So, originally born and raised in Detroit, Michigan.
I was gonna guess that for some reason.
And grew up there until I was 16. Then I relocated to Connecticut because it's bad.
Okay, we talked before. Okay, now you drawing me. Yeah, okay. What's life like in Detroit?
So I haven't been there because I'm 44 now.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time that I was there, it was pretty bad. The games was bad, real bad. And so I graduated Bobian Middle School. I was supposed to go to Mumford High School.
Say what?
Bobian Middle School.
Bobian?
It's called Bobian.
Okay.
Middle School.
Okay.
Then I was supposed to go to Mumford High School. So that's like all my friends and everybody I knew went and everything. So that's like on 6 Mile.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. That's on like 6 Mile. So I was like, nah, if I go there, you know what I'm saying? Like I know I ain't gonna do good because I'll be distracted. So my mom was like, well, you can go to Henry Ford High School.
Henry Ford, shout out.
Henry Ford. So she was remembering it to be the way it was when she went.
Mm-hmm.
So I went there. Absolutely terrible. It was terrible. And I had just went through a whole lot like within that year.
Mm-hmm.
Almost got robbed like 2-3 times.
At school?
Yeah, school, bus stop. It was crazy.
Oh, wow.
We had metal detectors, so you had to walk through metal detectors and stuff like that.
Huh.
They had weapons check day.
Weapons check.
Yeah. So
Weapons check day.
Seriously, like where you go in and you can't go back out.
Mm.
And so if you got something on you, like you was trying to get caught.
Mm.
So it was, even though I'm from Detroit, it was a culture shock. I'm like, what is, this is crazy. I didn't have to do this in middle school.
Mm.
And so what happened was how I ended up not finishing and moving from Detroit to Connecticut was there was this guy who got ready to, I guess he got ready to shoot the other guy who was at the bus stop.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like, yeah, aren't you the guy I was looking for, or something like that. They going back and forth. He's like, no, I'm not the guy. And he was like, yes, you are. You the guy that was at the party, yada, yada, yada. And so he was like, no, I'm telling you, it wasn't me. So this other guy came up there. He's like, no, that's not the guy. And so he was like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. He's like, look, put the gun away. He's like,
wow.
I'm sorry. They put it to his head at the bus stop. So I like froze.
A child?
Yeah. These are all high school kids. And so he put the gun to his head, and he's like, yeah, you're the guy, this and that. The other guy comes vouch for him. He's like, that's not the guy. He was like, oh, I'm sorry. So I'm thinking to myself, it's a case of mistaken identity.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, if I said that could have been me.
Mm-hmm.
And so after that, I was like, I don't want to go back to school. So I stopped going for like a week.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would just get on the bus, ride the bus all day, this and that. So one day, I get home, and my mom, she wasn't in the habit of asking me, hey, how was your day?
Mm-hmm.
And so she goes, how was your day? And so I'm like, oh, it was good, So. And she's like, well, that's funny. She goes, because I got a call from the school. You ain't been to school in a week.
Mm.
And I only got one son. She said, so I'm going to ask you again,
Ooh.
how was your day? And so I broke down, I started crying, started telling about everything I had been through. And she was crying. She's like, you want to go to, switch schools? And I'm like, no, it doesn't matter where I'm at. I'm still in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm not going back. So she called my uncle. My uncle was like, hey, I'll be there in the next 3 days, and that's how I ended up relocating to Connecticut.
So you moved with your auntie and uncle in
Yep.
Bel Air.
When I was 16, he said Bel Air. I'm done. I know, right? Yeah, I really did.
But I'm sure to better.
It was. I loved Connecticut
Hmm.
because so when I moved there, I moved to New Britain,
Mm-hmm.
and in high school, so I wasn't used to being around other
Ethnicities.
ethnicities.
There we go.
Right. I wasn't used to be around other ethnicities. I'm about to say nationalities. Yeah, ethnicities. So, you know what I'm saying? There's lots of Puerto Ricans, you know, Caucasians, stuff like that. So I'm like, man, the school was well lit up, you know, the lighting. So I'm like, yo, I love this place. So,
You came from a lean on me school to.
It was- seriously, because the glass was like plexiglass. Bro, man, yeah.
So you started living better, and you didn't play no sports or nothing while you was over there. Or you just kind of
No, I didn't play sports.
academic.
Academic. I was on the chess club.
Hey, let's go.
The little chess club.
That's dope.
So, yeah, did a little traveling, playing chess. So.
Look, show me how to play, because I knew how to play before. I need to learn again.
Okay.
And you got me. Appreciate it.
Who else?
Okay, so you finished your high school there, or
Yep, finished out my high
so
school.
now you going to New York and Philadelphia, all that stuff. You traveling around.
So no, not at the time now. So
Okay.
I let me see what happened. So I was doing well, and you know I thought I was doing well. Had a nice little job at the bank. I used to work at the bank. Reconnected with some of my old friends who, you know, burn heavy, smoking, drinking, and my life went in that direction. And then my ex ended up like 5 years. She ended up, you know, saying, I love you, but I'm not in love with you no more. So she canned me, and I just spent my life out of control. So then I got angry, and you know, I'm like, I got angry with God. And I'm like, I'm about to start targeting like all of these females and sleeping with as many as I possibly can. So I started targeting like Christian females, like intentionally. So I'm like bagging all these females, sleeping with different females, this and that, whatever. Pretty angry.
All right, just gonna go on YouTube, so don't get too.
Yeah, I ain't gonna get too explicit.
You know, no.
But no, that's so my life started going in that direction. And then I met the mother of my children, and she's the one that, you know, brought God, you know, started talking to me about God and all this stuff, whatever. And that's how my life kind of went on that track. And then, yeah, so whole testimony.
That's good. And so, she helped uplift you in your life to get you on a, you know, what you call.
Straight and narrow path.
There we go. I couldn't think of it. I was gonna say nice and steady.
Yeah, that's steady, straight.
Yeah.
So
Okay. And then what? So how far along did you end up joining the army? Cause I don't know.
So found God, or God found me. Matter of perspective, however you look at it. At 25, and ended up relocating from Connecticut and moving to Texas. So I moved to Fresno, Texas. Love this, you know, love for Texas, you know, Southwest Houston. Shout out to Texas.
Big shout
Let's go. So it was out of Texas that I enlisted at the age of 28.
28.
At 28.
Whoa.
Yeah, at 28.
So you was at basic training. You was grandpa.
I was grandpa. I was the go-to, man.
What made you want to do that at that age?
So again, funny story. I didn't want to join. So, I got led to this scripture at the time. I was in, you know, Texas, and it's like in Deuteronomy, I think chapter 28, where it talks about curses for disobedience, blessings for obedience, and so. You know, I'm reading the chapter. You know, Lord leads me to it, and I'm working at. I was working for this company called CSS, Certified Safety Specialist, out at. And they were a contracting company for BP, British Petroleum. So I'm working at the plant. So the words that stand out to me is curses and blessings. Right? Everybody wants to be blessed, but nobody wants to be cursed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants that one half, but they don't want the other half. So, however God puts it in my heart, He puts it in my heart for me to pray to be cursed with blessings.
Hmm.
Right? So I'm like, if there's anything you want to be cursed with, why not blessings, right?
Right.
So that's what I do. A few days later, Texas gets hit with a hurricane. Hurricane Ike, right? It's 2008.
Ike.
So it
Okay.
came through, swept through the Galveston area, put me out of work, and a whole bunch of other people. I'm like, yo, I pray to be cursed with blessings and things get worse, right? So I'm out of a job, right? So I'm the only one working, wife, 3 kids. I'm like, man, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm struggling, right? And I end up, however the Spirit leads, I end up getting led to the book of Numbers. So I'm reading the book of Numbers, chapter 1, I get to the 3rd verse, and it says, the Lord said to Moses, you and Aaron are to number by their divisions all the young men 20 years old or more who are able to serve in the army. And army stood out. And so I'm like, army?
Oh.
I want to join the army. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Lord, I'll follow you anywhere, but I don't want to follow you there.
Right.
So, tell my wife, I'm like, hey, I think the Lord wants me to join the army. She's like, is that what you want to do? I'm like, not really, but let's pray on it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how God answers. So we pray on it. That next day, she's done. She's like, I'm done. I'm tired of struggling with you. You're interpreting the scriptures wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. Because she grew up in church. I'm like, so we arguing back and forth. So the police get called. So police come out, one male cop, one female cop. So, they're talking to us and everything. And, we kind of make it through the day to kind of, calm things down, because everybody, they're like, hey, it's a hard time. Everybody's going through a hard time. So that next day, we right back at it. Right? She, I'm leaving, I called my family, yada, yada. So we going back and forth, yada, yada. So I called the cops this time. She gotta go, So they, same male cop, same female cop, police officer, right? So they come out, they talk to us, calm things down, make it through the second day. Third day, right back at it.
Oh, man.
Right? I know, right? Crazy. Same female police officer, same male police officer.
Mm-hmm.
So while the male officer's talking to me, he's like, hey, you can't keep doing this. I'm like, I know, I'm sorry, sir, everything. He goes, listen, are you in the military? I said, no. He said, you ever thought about joining the army? So I'm like, I'm listening. So he starts telling me how the army made him a better man, right? He starts telling me like all these different things, benefits, yada, yada, yada. And so while he's talking to me, I'm like listening. I'm like, yeah, no, this is good. But I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm not doing that. That's not what I'm doing. So while he's talking, I'm feeling this tugging at my heart. So it's like, it's tugging and whatever. So I'm like rubbing on my chest. I'm like, God, what's going on? So I'm like, maybe I'm having a stroke or something like that, right? So all of a sudden, it feels like somebody lifts like this weight off my chest. And so I gasp for air and I exhale and I'm like, oh my God, I could breathe. So I have like a change of heart or change of mind, right? So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And so he's like, do what? And so I'm like, I'm gonna join. And he's like, join what? I'm like, I'm gonna join the army. You know what I'm saying? Oh. And so then he's like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, listen, I don't have to come back out here no more. And I'm like, listen, you won't have to come back out here no more, this and that. Whatever. So, they leave. So my wife, she follows him to the door. She locks the door and she walks over to the couch. It's just quiet. And she just looks at me. She goes, I'm sorry. And I'm like, me too. She goes, I didn't understand what the Lord was doing. So what we both understood was for that 3 days, we had prayed about it. For that 3 days, I didn't go nowhere. She didn't go nowhere. We just didn't go anywhere. So instead of me going out to get my confirmation or her going out to get the confirmation, God brought it to me. But it was the way that he went about doing it. So the timing was like impeccable.
All right. That is a deep why. That's a real heavy why. Yeah. Everybody else be like, I just need to get up and go somewhere. Yeah. That's a good story, man. I appreciate you sharing that. Is there more to it?
Oh, it's a whole testimony, yeah.
Okay.
You can read it in the book, though.
Talk to me about this book, man. You mentioned it already, so I actually want to. We're gonna jump the gun a little bit, but what's your book called?
So the book is called Cursed with Blessings. A record of the stages in our journey, part 1. So it's part 1.
Okay.
And I'm working on part 2, but they sell it on Amazon. They sell it on Barnes and Nobles. But yeah,
Amazon.com.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go find it.
Yep.
Or you can send me the link, so I don't gotta do the work.
I can do that. I got a digital copy.
You got physical?
I got a physical copy. Yup. It's
I want that one.
It's a they got the soft cover one.
You got Bible sticks?
I ain't got no Bible sticks. No. I got a movie script. I got a short movie script. Yeah, I plan on. It's wild. It's wild. I feel like my life is kind of like a movie to me. Or that. Yeah, it's wild.
So when don't do me like The Blind Side. What they doing right now? When it come out, make sure this part is in the movie, so I can be give me $100 or something.
Easily. Nope, I won't forget this. Trust. Trust.
So you've been in how long now?
God willing, it'll be 15 years, 21 October.
Nice.
This 21 October.
Okay. That's dope, man.
I know, right?
How has it been? How you feel like it's been?
It has been phenomenal because I've learned a lot, and so I'll try to sum it up this way. Usually, whenever I talk to people about God and stuff like that, I tell people whenever Jesus told parables, the people who understood those parables better than anybody were the people of those professions. So, for example, like when he's given the parable of like the farmer, right, or the sower, he talks about a farmer went out to sow all types of seed, and he scattered the seed, and some seed fell amongst he tells all the different places. Well, the person who's going to understand that better than anybody is a farmer, because they know everything that it entails when it comes to farming. Or, the kingdom of heaven is like a fisherman who went out to fish and called all type, let down the net and stuff like that. Who's going to understand that parable better than anybody other than a fisherman?
Right.
So I'm, get on Google and start doing research, when it comes to fishing and stuff like that. What I learned is, depending on the type of fish you catch, depends on the type of net you use. And then, because, some of the things are bigger than others, like little squares, whatever. And then depending on the type of fish that you catch, depends on like where you're fishing, because certain fish swim at certain sea levels, right? Other factors. So these are things like just a regular person wouldn't know, right? So that's why I say it entails. So for me, the reason why it's been so phenomenal is because when I read stuff in the Old Testament, you read a lot about wars.
Yeah.
Who fights wars? Soldiers.
Right.
And so it gives me a better perspective being a soldier when I read certain things, like, this is what we do with this, and this is how, I understand why they did that because of this. So it puts things in a practical sense. So it has helped to enlighten me more.
Okay. So look, man, you're getting deep. You're getting pretty deep. And where you do your basic at?
Believe it or not, I did it right here, Fort Jackson.
Fort Jackson. It was calling your name.
Yo, I know, right? Like that.
You had a good time?
I did, man. I learned a lot while I was here. It was a memorable experience. So just coming back here is like, bring back nostalgia.
Yeah, you back in that energy again. You feel it.
Yes.
Okay.
Especially when I see the drill sergeants.
Was it easy for you? And, being, you probably, like you say, and then the drill sergeants probably treat you different and be like, hey, man, you older than me. Even at 28, yeah.
So it wasn't easy. It was physically demanding. Just being 28.
Yeah.
And coming, straight off the couch. You know what I'm saying?
With people 10 years, you're junior.
Seriously, it was rough. It was rough. It was very rough trying to go through it, but I made it.
You made it. You here. You still standing. You still strong.
I'm still here.
But okay, you came in like the summer or winter?
I came in October.
Oh, so you had to go. They probably wasn't that bad because South Carolina ain't that bad, but
no, it wasn't too. It wasn't too bad. I'm trying to remember. I think at one point it did get cold.
A little frosty.
It got a little frosty. It did, yeah. Because it was from like October to like December. Because I started AIT in January, and then
Okay.
graduated that March.
And then still still AIT here.
Still AI2, yeah. So they was telling people, hey, you're going here and you're going here and 56 mics, you grabbing your bags and you're marching up the road.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So it was
What
pretty-
how did you end up with the job?
Oh man, okay, perfect. So that goes back to the testimony. So I after me and my wife got the understanding, and everything. I called the drills. I called the recruiting station, right? Called the recruiting station, and so I'm like, yeah, I want to join the army.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's like, hey, we'll send a recruiter out to the apartment. So I'm like, all right, cool. So the guy comes out and everything. I don't know the difference between an NCO and an officer at the time. And so he's like, so you want to join the army? I'm like, yes, sir, yes, sir. So he's like, all right. So he's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, infantry. He goes, infantry? I'm like, infantry. So the reason was, the story with, in the Bible with David, King David and Goliath, how, David was a shepherd. He gets into the whole, battle with Goliath, kills Goliath. Next thing you know, he becomes part of the Israeli Defense Force, the Israeli Army. And it's underneath that umbrella that God exalts him to the top. So I'm like, yeah, infantry. Infantry. So he's like, okay. And so we're talking, and he goes, you got your license? And so I'm like, yeah, I got my license. So he takes my license, and he goes, oh, you got your Class A? And I was like, yeah. He goes, you ever thought about truck driving? So I was like, I didn't know they had truck driving. And he goes, yeah, maybe truck driving is for you. So I'm thinking, when I first found God, after my whole experience, I was praying, asking the Lord, what do I do? Spirit is telling me truck driving. I'm like, truck driving? I don't want to drive trucks. Regardless, let me be obedient. Went back to school, got my Class A. I got a job working for Penske. It was seasonal, so it was only for the summer. And then they let me go, and then I couldn't get another job, right? So, but I still had my Class A. So fast forward, the guy, asked me about, the recruiter asked me about my license and this whole nine. So it helped as a turning point. And so I'm like, maybe that's why God had me get my Class A, right? So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever, right? So we're talking. He goes, you talk a lot about God. And I said, I'm sorry. I said, out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. Or the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. He goes, no, that's okay. He goes, listen, you ever thought about being a chaplain assistant? I said, what's a chaplain? He said, you don't know anything the military has to offer you, do you?
Nope.
And so I said, I thought it was tanks, helicopters, and infantry. And he goes, no. He goes, listen, come with me. So we go to this place called WorkSource. He takes me to the website, shows me a plethora of jobs. Right? So he goes, listen, in the 2.5 years I've been a recruiter, I haven't seen a position open. But if it opens up, I feel like it may be for you. And so I'm like, all right, I ain't going to get my hopes up. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, So I went through the process. And then he called me back, and he's like, that position I was telling you about? I said, yeah. He said, it's open. And so he was like, come down to the office. We could talk about it. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm down at the office, and he's like, now it has pros and cons. The pro is the position is open. He says the con is it doesn't offer you a bonus. So he's like, we got 4 different jobs that offer you some like really good bonuses. So he starts, this job right here offers you $2,500. And so I'm like, $2,500? So I'm like, oh man, because I'm struggling. And so while he's talking, I like zone out. And I can hear the Spirit repeating the scripture. You can't serve both God and money. You can't serve both God and money. So internally, but I'm like, Lord, but I really need the money. So I can hear him in the background. This position offers you $5,000. He's going on. I can hear the Spirit. You can't serve both God and money. But Lord, I really need the money. You know what I'm saying? I need the money. $5,000. This position here is $7,500, right? He gets all the way up to $10,000. By that time, I'm like, forget it, Lord. I'll do it, right? Zone back in. $10,000? He's like, yeah. So what do you think? I'm like, I really do need the money. I said, but I've followed the Lord this far, and I'd rather continue to follow him wholeheartedly as best as I possibly can. I said, so I'll be a chaplain assistant. And he was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'll be a chaplain assistant. And so it was the best decision I made because I do what I love. Get to talk to people about God.
Look, man, you got the best stories of all time.
Yo, this is my life. That's what I'm saying. It's the truth, man.
Okay.
It's all in the book, man.
I appreciate those. Oh, there go my spouse calling me. She gonna see that I hung up on her. All right. What all spots you been stationed at? What was your first one? And then where else you been stationed?
So the first one was in Fort Huachuca, Arizona.
Okay.
I was with the 86th Expeditionary Signal Battalion.
Mm-hmm.
Deployed, came back, did an interpost transfer, went over to the 305th Military Intelligence Battalion.
Okay.
After that, out of all the whole testimony, man, I ended up going back to Michigan. I got orders to go to the Detroit Arsenal.
Okay.
And so I was part of TACOM LCMC, which was my best duty assignment. I love that place. I didn't want to leave. After that, I got orders to go to Fort Drum. Then I was with Fort Drum. I was with the 287 Catamounts Infantry Battalion.
Catamount?
Catamounts.
I don't know that one.
Yep, 287 Catamounts.
Cattle, like a cow on the mountain?
Nope. Catamounts. Catamouns.
Okay.
Yup, the Catamount. So, and then did an interpost transfer. Went over to the 41st Engineer Battalion. I was with them for a while, and then received orders. Ended up at Fort Bliss. Was with the one. First, it was the 31st CASH. It was the Combat Support Hospital.
Okay.
And then they did that whole transition where they split from 131 Field Hospital and 528 Hospitals because they was converting all the caches over to field hospitals.
Okay.
So 131 Field Hospital / 528 Hospital Center. That was my second favorite unit I was with. And then I went from there over to the Division Sustainment Brigade. From the Division Sustainment Brigade, I went over to like 1-1 for about 3 months because I was supposed to deploy.
The CAV?
First Armored Division, First Armored Brigade Combat Team.
Okay.
And then one of the other Mikes wanted to take my place because her husband was in the unit. So I thought I was going to go over to her unit.
That's a reason not to.
Yeah. So I thought I was going to go to 2-1. It was like, well, you've had brigade time already. So we're going to send you over to the garrison. So I went over to the garrison, and then I was the NCOIC for 1AD Chapel. And then I just did another interpost transfer, and I'm now over at the Combat Aviation Brigade, still up under 1st Armored Division at Fort Bliss. So I've only been to Fort Huachuca, Arizona, Detroit Arsenal in Warren, Michigan, Fort Drum in New York, and then Fort Bliss, Texas.
And you've been at Fort Bliss for 10 years now.
Dog, if I can. So it's been like, let's see, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. 5 years, 7 months. Yup.
What year you got there? I can't do the math right now.
2018.
Okay, 18. Okay, I've been in 2 places since then, and I'm about to leave. And you still about to stay.
Still there.
You gotta move around. You gotta go overseas and stuff, man.
So the reason I got 5 kids, right? Two boys, 3 girls. Oldest is a boy, youngest is a boy. 3 girls in between. I ain't gonna say boy. I say young man. You know what I'm saying? Youngest is a boy, 3 girls in between. I know, right? So the reason why, the ages 18, 17, 16, 14, and 11.
Sound like you need to go overseas. Bring them with you.
So I did the high school stabilization, so that my children can do both college and high school, and I did the high school stabilization so that I don't end up going somewhere where they don't offer that, and so I'm kind of putting my kids first. So my son just graduated. My daughter now is in a senior, and she has a 4.1 GPA for, I think, high school, and then a 4.0 for college, or either it's reverse, one of the two.
Oh, she getting the dual
credits, yeah. And so she wants to be she's part of the honor society. She got accepted into out of the 7 honor societies they have, she got accepted into PTK, which is the Phi Theta Kappa, and she wants to be a judge. So My other daughter, she's a straight A student. She has a 4.0 GPA for college and a 4.0 for high school. She wants to be an anesthesiologist assistant. She wrestles. She came in the sixth place in the state of Texas. So, yeah.
Texas is a big state.
It is. It is.
So what you trying to say? The apple didn't fall too far from the tree. They got it all from you, right?
I can't.
They got it all from you, right? They got it all from you, right?
Oh, dude.
You know?
Hey,
you're a brilliant dude, man.
I wish, man.
Distinguished undergrad.
We
call it academic top.
Yeah, I was academic something.
Hey,
I was something.
Top performer.
I don't know, man. I was something like that, whatever that is.
Now, but how you think they enjoying the military life?
They love it, and they don't really have anything to compare it to, because when I joined, my son was 3.
The oldest was 3.
My oldest was 3. So this is really the only life that they know.
Well, you feel like probably maybe Fort Bliss is their favorite place.
Yes.
But you feel like maybe it could have been somewhere else for like 1 or 2 of them. Like I miss it over there in Detroit.
They talk more. They'll talk if they reminisce. It's when they were younger, so it would have been Fort Huachuca, Arizona. Yeah, the places where it don't snow. And if it does snow, it don't stick. So,
what is it to do at Fort Bliss?
So it depends on what you want to do.
So it sound like nothing.
It really depends on what you want to do. There is a lot to do. If you're looking to do something, you're gonna find it. Like if a person loves to bowl, they can find bowling. If they like to shoot pool, you can play shoot pool. If you like to go, what is it? I don't know. What's the thing that we did? The laser tagging, something like that. There's just a lot to do. There's lots of places to eat. There's a lot of places for entertainment. I think about a month or 2 ago, I went to the comedy club that's like right outside the Pose.
It's a lot to do.
It is.
So you telling me the people gonna go down in the comments and they gonna check you, see if you lying?
They got the indoor skydiving.
Okay.
They got the Top Golf. If you like Top Golf, they got lots of places to eat. They got the comedy club right there.
Okay.
It's big. It's Texas, so it offers like it's El Paso. It's El Paso.
Yeah, it's
Shout
Mexico.
out to El Paso.
It's barely not Mexico.
I love it. I love it. There's places to go, but I don't really go out like that. I work.
Right.
I go home, do homework, spend time with my kids, stuff like that.
You gonna nurture the living.
Exactly. And I'm a gamer, so.
What you be playing?
So, between I like role playing games, the RPGs.
Okay.
So I love like Red Dead Redemption 1, Red Dead Redemption 2. Man, I'm drawing a blank. The Last of Us Part 1, The Last of Us Part 2, Days Gone. Yo, if y'all watching this, I need y'all to hashtag Days Gone 2 so that they make a Days Gone 2. I love that game. Absolutely love it.
So it sounds like you're on the PC.
That, and I got the Oculus.
Hey, let's go.
Yo, you got Oculus?
Nope.
Yo, listen.
I can't afford it.
It's next level gaming. Get an Oculus.
Now you gotta get your what they call Steam Deck.
So you can connect and play the Steam games.
Okay.
You can play the Steam games.
Shit.
I'm telling you, it's off the wall because it's not just virtual gaming. It is. You can watch movies. You can watch shows on there. For example, when you go to Amazon, like to watch anything on Amazon. When you get ready to watch it, it puts you in the setting of a movie theater. Literally.
Okay.
Like you're in a movie.
But then you like this. Just like
No, yeah. But you
looking
don't
around like this all day.
So no, it's not connected like a cord. Cause somebody thought like it's a
But it's on
cork.
your face, ain't it?
It's on your face. It's like wearing like goggles or glasses. But you look around and you're like, oh my god. Like when you move around, it like everything don't move around. It stays
So the thing
still.
stay. You look this way,
Yo.
but the movie gonna stay right there.
It's gonna stay. You look like that. The movie is right there. You look around like, oh my lord, yo. Like I'm in a movie theater.
So if you sneeze, it ain't go. It don't come down there with you.
No, you see like your hands.
So you sneeze, and you come back right here.
I should have brought my Oculus.
Go get it, man.
No, I don't have it here. I didn't bring it here. I'm telling you that it's mind blowing. It is mind blowing. Trust me, it is next level.
Gotta put that on my Christmas list.
The Oculus Quest 2, and they're coming out with the 3, Oculus Quest 3, Generation 3. I'm telling you, man.
That's made by Facebook, ain't it?
I think I don't know if they make it or just sponsored or it's kind of like
it's all good.
Yeah, it's like it's Facebook basically. I say Facebook.
Okay. All right. So actually, I think I already asked you a few of these questions that's on my questions list, but let's see. What's hurting on your body right now?
Dude, my back. It's my back. Between a combination of just getting older.
But I need you to talk directly to
the camera.
No. To what they call it, the VA.
So I had to have
VA. They right there.
So wear and tear over the years.
Well, now you gotta come back to the mic though.
Oh, okay. All right. VA. So, I would say my back, and number one is I actually had to have spinal surgery.
Whoa.
So, I was supposed to come to SLC back in November 2020. I wasn't able to come because I had to have surgery. So, the cartilage between my L5 and my S1 was completely gone. It was bone on bone. And then my spine had slipped forward like 50%.
Wow.
It was crushing my sciatic nerve. Got to the point where I couldn't stand.
Sheesh.
And so the doctor, he said, hey, you have to have surgery. And so I'm like, what other options I got? He said, either that or you won't be able to walk. And so I'm like, well, I'll do it. And he was like, well, you don't want to talk with like your family first? And I'm like, it's me.
Or be able to walk? No.
Yeah,
I ain't got nothing else to say.
Anything to say, yeah. So scheduled me, for the surgery, and they did what's called a posterior lumbar interbody fusion, a PLIF. And they go in, they cut 2 incisions, and then what they do is they put a spacer in between.
I was gonna say like the purple mattress. They put a little piece of
the polypeciatic, whatever
piece of a mattress in
there. They put some foam and they put some type of spacer up in there.
Easy foam.
Some make me sleep better. Put that in between. They pulled my spine back to line it up. Put shavings from a cadaver to kind of hold it in place.
I don't know what that word means. I should know.
Cadaver from like a dead body.
Okay.
From a dead
because
body.
that's.
That's
what I know that word means.
Dead
so
body.
You got like
Jonathan
or something like part of him is in you.
Henry is in the back of me.
Let's get it.
And then they put brackets and screws to hold it in place, and so that everything would fuse together. And so I literally had to start back over walking from the walker.
You look like 50 Cent on Get Rich or Die Trying.
Dog. Yes, I was 50 all day, dog. I was so, and then at that time, I thought for sure, I thought I was done. But what was so wild, God's all about timing. And before that happened, I had just finished praying, and I heard the Spirit say, "You will suffer," and I was like, "What?" So I told my wife, I said, "Yo, I just got finished praying." I said, "I heard the Spirit tell me that I was gonna suffer. And she's like, oh, you should be used to it by now. And I'm like, that's not the point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the question is, what is the suffering and how long?
Mm-hmm.
And so a couple of weeks after that, like my back got worse, whatever. So when I told the chaplain, you know, hey, they told me I have to have surgery and this and that, I gotta go through this and that. He said, I'm sorry to hear about what you're going through. He said, it sounds like you're really suffering.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, this is the suffering. Okay, it brought back to remembrance what the Spirit said to me. So I was like, okay, if God, it's like forewarning me, letting me know, like, hey, you're about to go through some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that right there, it's funny because a person would, you know, typically I guess would feel bad,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't, because I was like, God already let me know ahead of time. So if he's bringing me to it, he's definitely going to bring me through it. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
It was painful, but...
And you made it through. Obviously, clearly, you still walking. I'm sure you get some pain from time to time, but
yeah.
that's... And you weren't even airborne, and you got it like that.
Yeah. Got hardware in my back, too, man.
Uh,
So that's why I be in pain, but...
It's on paper. It's on paper.
Mm-hmm.
What's one of your dream assignments? Do you call it a dream? Or somewhere you want to go?
Oh, man. I wanted to go to the Sinai Peninsula. I remember I tried when I just wanted, because I really wanted to go to Egypt.
You just want to go to Egypt, period?
Yeah, I just want to go to, yeah, I just want to go to Egypt, period, to go.
You say you got, which one about to graduate high school?
My oldest daughter, and then I got my other daughters after that, then the other daughter.
So you got to wait on all of them to graduate?
Either that or do like a little personal pilgrimage.
Hey, one of them, y'all gonna have to
Pay for me to
go to senior year in Germany.
And
then you get to Germany, you travel all over Europe and Africa.
Really?
Yeah.
Yo, they tell me the army won't let me go. They won't send me every time yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, either that or I would literally have to do my own little personal like pilgrimage, because I did that when I was in Fort Huachuca, Arizona. I went to Israel, like my own little personal pilgrimage. Yeah.
But you see that that ticket probably $1,500. You go to Germany, it'd be $300.
Oh, man, that's a testimony. I got ready to buy the ticket, and at the time my mom and my youngest sister was living with me. My mom stops me. She's like, don't buy your ticket. I was like, what? She's like, don't buy your ticket. I was like, why? She was like, you need to talk to your godfather. My godfather? She's like, yeah. I'm like, I ain't talked to him in like 16 years. So the last time I talked to him is during the time that he came to stay with us, me and my sister, because my mom was pregnant with my youngest sister at the time, and she was in the hospital, and it was because he came to stay with us because my youngest sister dad had left my mom at like 8 months pregnant. Crazy. So he came to stay, and it was wild because I'm a gamer. I used to have this game on the Sega Genesis called Aerobiz. So it's the business of airplanes. And we used to play that, right? We used to play this like religiously, right? Super fun. So all these years later, right? Fast forward. So I'm like, all right. So, I talked to my godfather, whatever. And so he's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. He's like, yo, I heard you're in the Army now. Thank you for your service. I'm proud of you, this and that. I'm like, thank you. And so he's like, so your mom tells me that, you're going to Israel. You want to go to Israel? And I was like, yeah. He goes, well, what your mom probably didn't tell you is I'm no longer a Detroit firefighter because he retired. He said, I now work for Delta Airlines. He said, and I like to give you what we call a buddy pass. Listen, dog. I said, a what? He said, a buddy pass. He said, now the only thing you'll have to pay for is the taxes, right? So I was about to pay close to 2 racks just to get on the tail end of the plane. I ended up spending $792 on taxes.
For first
for
class.
business class. So he tells me, he says, and when you fly, you're not gonna fly just anywhere. You're gonna fly in style. I said, what's that? He said, you're gonna fly business class. I'm like, okay, listen. If you've never flown business, or if you have flown listen.
I can't afford it.
I
can't afford it.
The seating, and I didn't go there just like any time of the year. I went during like the holiday. I went during the holiest day of the year, Yom Kippur. So I went, during the Day of Atonement. During the thing. Yeah, man. So the seating is like a cubicle,
Yeah.
and the
I synced it
dog.
while I was walking past it. I saw it.
It's nuts.
To go to my little square seat like that.
Yo, they took me from the tail to like the head of the plane, and you sit in like the chair, the cubicle, the TV pops out. I'm like,
Lay down like a
yo, it extends back, turns like to a bed. It's man, right? They was giving what is it? Complimentary champagne. I took like 3 of those down before we flew off. I'm recording everything. I'm shalom, shalom, whatever, right? And
yeah, go ahead, cause I ain't mad at you.
yo, man, it was phenomenal. And then you turn the remote to the side and you could play games and stuff.
Oh.
It was wild, man.
Have you done that since?
No. The timing that's a whole testimony, man. Even like me staying over there, because I got to stay with a resident. So, how people can go on guided tours. Like, okay, we're going to go here day one, this and that. I was all over the place.
That's pretty dope, man.
I'm writing, that's all in my second book.
I gotta get the first book still.
I'm going to send you the.
Oh, you ain't gotta see it right now?
I'll send it to you later.
Okay.
It's wild, yeah, man.
So you say your dream assignment was to go to Egypt.
It's to go to Egypt, and if well, definitely to go to Egypt. I definitely want to go to Egypt. Let me see. And another dream assignment is, as much as we've learned about what goes on here at USERL, I would like to work there. Because I love what I do.
You had your interview, you coming.
By
the time I post this, you're going to have orders.
I'm done. And no, I ain't even do like no interview. But I just, because I'm thinking about my kids right now. But
yeah.
in the long term, I wouldn't mind, man.
You say you got hobbies, yeah? Which is gaming.
Yeah, gaming.
I think you mentioned something else. That was like an hour ago.
Gaming.
Other hobbies? You can't think of no hobbies? That's it?
Dog, let's see.
That's what you got time for?
Yeah, pretty much. And then I like school. It's not really a hobby though. Gaming, just really gaming. I like reading the Bible. So.
And writing your book.
And write my book.
But that's I wouldn't call it a hobby.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it.
It's just something, personal testimony.
But I do. Yeah, I like reading. If people say, "What books you read?" I like reading the Bible. That's probably. Yeah.
It's enough in there.
It's all,
You don't really need no books. You got any? You pick up any habits during your time?
Any habits?
Good or bad?
Let me see. I say hua a lot.
No, you say what?
Hua?
No.
Hua? I say that quite a bit. I'll say Roger that. I'll say Roger that a lot. Too easy.
Too easy.
Let me see. Oh man. Drinking Red Bulls.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I just really picked up caffeine recently.
Really?
I be needing it so bad because I got to use a CPAP now, so I don't get good sleep. I be sleep, but I don't get good sleep.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah,
anyway,
I'm getting tired.
Let's see. Arizona. You ever go to a Cardinals game?
No.
Did you ever do any of the stuff in the areas where you was at? What like
Detroit Arsenal.
I
went to Detroit Lions game.
Let's go.
So they would provide us with tickets.
Because the team's so bad that they can't sell them.
Possibly. No, I'm playing. I've been to the Detroit Pistons game, Detroit Lions, Detroit Tigers. I've also met the chaplains of these organizations.
I'm gonna tell you something. The person that replaced, I don't know if she replaced you immediately, but she just came from there. She was the last person there, and she replaced me where I'm at.
Really?
She came from Detroit to Redstone.
What's her name? I
Uh,
can't remember.
I'll tell you offline because I don't know if she want to be
Tracking.
told about. I don't
Roger
know.
that.
But she got like the plaques and everything from going to all these different places up in Detroit, like the going to
Yeah.
the baseball game, waving the flag, doing this and everything.
Yes, I did all that.
Okay.
So it was at the Detroit Arsenal. It was. I went to all those, the Detroit Tigers, Detroit Pistons game. They like that organization really does like invest or have those type of partnerships with like the different people. But what surprised me even more was I didn't know that for the teams that I didn't know those teams had chaplains, and so I got to invite some of those chaplains to come during the National Prayer Breakfast.
Oh, there we go. There we go. That's pretty dope, man. That
Yes.
sounds like one of the. I don't know too many units who do that
Yeah.
or care to even put in the effort to because I think it's pretty easy. Like if the 101st say, hey, let's do some things with the Tennessee Titans, which they did. They did air assault school or just a little bit of training with the Tennessee Titans, which is pretty cool. But like, dude, I
They
wish
have a
we did.
chaplain.
I
They
wish we
have a
did a little
chaplain.
bit more of that. That's pretty dope.
Trust me, they got every team has a chaplain.
What about Korean teams?
Korean team? I ain't never been to Korea.
Yeah, cause I'm getting ready to go. Maybe I can build over since I can read a little bit of Korean. I speak a little bit of Korean.
I've
Maybe
never been.
I'm gonna work it out. I'm gonna make it happen. I
Oh,
ain't gonna make it happen. All right. That's cool though. You didn't do none of that while you was in New York either. Too busy going to the field.
oh man, yeah, not in New York. It was only at the Detroit Arsenal. It was only at the Detroit Arsenal. Yeah.
Okay. And you spoke of your favorite MRE earlier. You
Oh,
sound like
yeah,
you really
yeah.
was in love with it.
The one with the chili mac. That's
cool.
got the Skittles. That's got the jalapeno cheese
Uh-huh.
with the crackers, and it's got the orange drink or the orange mix.
Alright.
That one.
You
Whatever
got that
it
heater,
is.
right? You
Yup,
got
yup.
the heater. Do you put the cheese in the heater?
I do.
Let's go.
Yup, I
Let's
warm
go,
it up.
let's go,
Yeah, yeah,
let's
yeah.
go.
And I put some of the cheese that's left over in the chili mac.
And then you
Right.
right here, you close up, and then you can't use the bathroom for 3 days.
No, I was good. I know, right? It like clog you up or something. And then, but I sometimes would take the cracker and then crush it up into the chili.
You from the hood for real?
Really? Yeah. It was good though. It was good, man. It'd be on point. It'd be on point.
Yeah, it'd be good, man. 'Cause when you out there in them forests.
Yeah, what they call it? Austere
Oh
environment.
yeah, austere, real austere. Hey, you had a tent or you use your sleeping bag?
I use. Oh man.
Oh, y'all was in the BSB, so you had all the hookup.
No, when at a drum. So, light infantry.
You ain't got nothing.
You ain't. I was like, where we gonna sleep at?
On
First
the
time
floor.
he was like, where you standing? I'm like, what?
He ain't lying.
The grass was like stupid tall, and then I'm like I'm sleeping there, mosquitoes, whatever. And I'm like, man, this is crazy.
Oh,
And that's
video calling me now.
that was the first time. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. That was the first time that I actually had what do you call it? Man, that I seen one of those Katoma tents. So it is the best thing that I think I've ever seen.
Katuma tent?
Yo, it's about this big, right? About that thick. It folds up, right? Hello, how you doing? So it's the tent, right? You can put it in the in like your rucksack or your assault pack.
Mm-hmm.
You open it up, it pops open, right? You can climb into it and zip it up. It has the mosquito netting, and, you know what I'm saying, where you can like breathe and everything. That thing's portable.
And it pop out of backpack.
No,
Backpack size.
it's backpack size.
Huh.
Yes, and
I gotta look that one up.
the unit can actually
It got an NSN.
it's got an NSN. I'll send that to you as well. Yup.
Yeah. All right.
I'll send that to you as well. I'll send you the link to the book and the YouTube of that tent. That is next level, man.
Okay.
I just any units that go to the field, they really need to provide those to their soldiers. That's how I feel.
Okay. All right. So, okay. Now we're going to get to the hard part, right?
Okay, hard part.
You got to shout out some of your folks. Make it easier. You can organize it by a duty station. But shout out some of your people from your time in service. 15 years is a long time, but, you know.
Let's see. For you.
And if you forget them, they're going to be mad.
God, no pressure, right? No pressure
at all.
They might not even be in the military no more. Let's see.
They still know you, though.
Definitely now, First Sergeant Outlaw. Leander Outlaw. But from Fort Huachuca, made a huge impact on me. Sergeant Dixon, he used to be super cool, laid back. I don't know if he's still in or not. Let me see. I can't really think. That's so long ago. Oh, Goodwin. Maurice Goodwin. Yeah, Goody. Let's see, Goodwin. God, man. See, Fort Huachuca. It's quite a bit, actually. God, man.
It's hard to go down the line.
Yeah. It's like McLeese was pretty cool. Sharnita McLeese. Let me see. Yeah, that was my homie. God, who else did I usually just hung out with him a lot. Let me see. Boom, Detroit Arsenal. They didn't really.
Keep going.
Yeah, it really didn't have soldiers like that. It was more civilians. Patricia Sellers, Colonel Sellers. Yeah, I know, right? I'm just like, it's okay, though. No, you're good. Let me see. Colonel Patricia Sellers. God.
It's too difficult.
Yeah. All right. Let me just go.
Just shout out some of your folks. It's too difficult.
Let me see. All right. I'm gonna just end it with Staff Sergeant Temez, Leslie.
I heard that name before.
And she's in the court now. And Sergeant Martinez, Clary Martinez. So
what?
Yeah, and she hate when I say her name. I'm just saying Sergeant Martinez, doc. So I just leave it at that. But yeah, those are my homies, man.
Okay.
Those are my homies. So
Wow.
Pastorelli, Kershaw, SLC. Let's go. But to spell, SLC,
No gang sign. No gang sign.
Whatever, right?
All right. What's next for you? What do you feel like? What's next for you?
Home. No, let me see. All right.
Fort Couch.
Dog. Well, I'm in class now. I'm taking the class Christian Ethics for my master's.
Pastor Jackson.
Oh man.
Deacon.
So I know, right? So I like I was telling Wes, I don't want to be. So I don't want to be like a pastor minister. In a sense of,
you told me already
with the traditional church. Yeah, I'd rather go from place to place, speak stuff like that. So, and then keep it moving. Do it like how Jesus did, when he bounced around, from place to place. Do it like that. I don't want to be not gonna say stuck, because people be complaining. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand perspective. So I'd rather just bounce around, give a good word, salute. All right, I'm out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, like for the rest, you say you got 5 years left. So
Yeah.
So first class, master sergeant,
God.
sergeant major.
Oh,
So you got 15 years left.
Nope. So I just want God willing, do the 20, salute the flag, call it a day, unless God says different. But other
Mhm.
than that, like that's the plan. But everything else, man, I think everybody else is a little more high speed than me,
Nah, man.
and I'm 44. I'm tired. I'm hurting.
Nah, that's understandable.
You know what I'm
right
saying?
there.
So yeah, exactly. So I'm just like, yeah.
So you ready to do like this? Boom. Your kids gonna take care of you because they're gonna be all at Harvard and Yale and
Pray to the Lord. So,
down at the law school in Houston.
I mean, let's do it. Either that or like Harvard or something like that.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
something. So please, God.
So they're gonna take care of their father.
But yeah, but please, just don't put me in a home. Please don't put your boy in a home. Just put me in a room, video game, we good. You know?
See, by the time you're gonna be playing, you don't even need the controller. You're gonna be playing with your phalanges.
Yeah, with the feeling, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, check it out. Yo, inside joke. So, yeah, on my fingertip.
All right, man. You got anything else you want to say to the people? You got some advice for anybody that's getting ready to come in?
Advice for anyone that's getting ready to come in. Let me see. Just always try to see and perceive the good in every situation. No matter what happens, just always try to see and perceive the good, because everything has two sides. It's real easy to sit up and complain about something, which means you've already identified the problem. So don't waste your time complaining. Invest that time into looking into a solution. So, yeah.
That's real. All right. Well, look, I think we can wrap it up. It's been 70 minutes plus or minus.
All right.
And we can do like this or something. So we can do 1, 2, 3. Hey. So we can get a what do they call it? A thumbnail.
Yeah. We got to make a thumbnail.
Shout out to the thumbnail. Anybody? Final shout outs.
Yes, God, my mom, and my dad, because without those three, in perfect timing, I wouldn't be here to do this podcast.
All right. Well, I think we can. Oh, I already said I think we can wrap it up. So we can just wrap it up.
We can wrap it up again.
It's wrapped. All right, and cut.
Oh man.
Oh man.